Welcome to Self-Love Sermon. I am going to try to keep this to 30 minutes this time. Really trying to edit myself to be as efficient and precise as possible. And as always, we're talking about a self-love topic that I need to work on, that I am currently experiencing in my own practice and in my life. And today, the topic is being with the ickiness of presence. The ickiness, the stickiness, the sometimes discomfort and pain and suffering that can come with presence. Maybe you've experienced this in your mindfulness practice, in your meditations, your earthing practice, when you're walking alone and you're not listening to a podcast or music, when there's a silence that opens up before you and you start to hear your own thoughts, maybe for the first time in a little while. Yeah, who's with me? Who knows what I'm talking about? It can be really uncomfortable to be with ourselves, to be in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, to just hang out there. So today we're talking about some strategies to employ and deploy when you notice this discomfort arising for you, because if there is like a gift I could give the whole world, it would be the practices of mindfulness and embodiment, and to understand that it's a regular practice you have to work, you have to continue showing up for and coming back to. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. My name is Ellen Gilbert. I am a self-love coach. This is what I get to talk about all day, every day with some fabulous clients. And if you would like to be one of them, head on over to ellengilbert.com and book your free 30-minute clarity call with me. I would love to chat with you. If today's sermon touches you, shifts something, if you find a huge impact in some way, do message me and let me know. And if you feel so called, please make a donation at ellengilbert.com/donate. It really makes a difference and helps me continue putting free content like this out into the world. Thanks for being part of this community web. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that you are taking a look at your own presence practice, that you are building the skills and the strength necessary to human a little easier while we're on the earth. Thank you for being a part of that movement with me. So good to have you. I thought today we could spend a little time talking about the ickiness of presence, and then we can move into some body work together, a couple of practices, as well as a very short presence meditation that you can hit play on and go back to anytime you feel this sensation arise. Because last week we talked about recommitting to your daily self-care. So I wonder if any of you have been incorporating just 10, even 5 minutes of mindfulness meditation in the mornings. Would love to hear that. It has definitely lit a fire under my ass to be more accountable with my meditation practices. And even just this morning, I go to my little sit spot out in the grass. I sit on a yoga block and I practice mindfulness meditation and some earthing, all combined, wrapped into one. And I just felt this sense of like nausea arise up into my heart space area, into my head, almost like a buzziness I've been feeling lately, a little bit disembodied, disassociated from my physical body. Just a sense of ungroundedness and just not really being with it. And then when I try to be with it, I feel very resistant and almost repulsed by the experience of being human. And does anyone know what I'm talking about? It can be really painful. And I have a sneaking suspicion that it's the reason, this like low level discomfort is the reason so many of us quit our mindfulness and embodiment work. We can make every excuse in the book, or we can just hate ourselves for falling off the wagon, but really, I think we're resistant of experiencing what it is to be in our skin, to become more aware of our own mortality, and to really take responsibility for our own inner life. Because when we're present, we know the truth, which is that we are responsible. We have an ability to respond to our own intuition, to what's right here, to what's happening inside of us. It's a lot easier, isn't it, to shut that out, to shut it down, and to outsource our power, to give it away, like a hot potato. You hold this. It's too much for me, so you hold it. When we cultivate presence, even just a couple minutes a day, we really confront our own sacred, sovereign power to realign with our purpose and our mission and the universe. And that is a great responsibility. And part of us knows it. So I think that's why we can struggle with this sometimes. But I'd love to hear from you. What do you think it's about for you when you find yourself resisting present moment experiences? And I also want to reiterate here that the point of a practice like this is to practice. It is to keep coming back. It is to make that U-turn, to remember when we forget, and to release all judgment of our nature, which is to forget. That is what the mind does naturally. It forgets these things. So please don't beat yourself up. If you are on this journey, you are already giving yourself a beautiful gift. You are already connected to your pure heart's intention of non-suffering. May you be well. May you be at peace. May you be free from harm. May you know you are loved. The metta prayer. And may you send this metta prayer inward when you experience this kind of ickiness we're talking about today. I do believe it's a muscle. And I've talked about technology a lot in self-love sermons. I'm a big fan of setting limits on screen time and on audio content, on anything that you fill the silence with, because it's in that silence and in that space. And sometimes it's on the other side of the ickiness that our intuition can arise. That presence arises with everything contained within it, which is the fruitful darkness, the void, the silence from which all life and creativity springs. Why would you rob yourself of this divine feminine gift by filling every moment with content, with distraction, with numbing and escape? And I ask you, dear one, because I'm also asking myself. It's a reminder that there is deep wisdom here in the void womb space. There is deep potential, unlimited potential. And I think sometimes just on the other side of this ickiness of presence, there is everything beyond our wildest dreams waiting to call us and invite us into greater alignment, into a greater reality, a greater possibility, whatever that looks like for you. So maybe you feel it as pain in the body when you're sitting in meditation. And by the way, there are lots of meditation positions, and I really encourage you to explore and find the one that works best for you and your unique body. For me, I have to have my hips elevated in order for them to be in line or a little bit above the way my knees fall out. I have very long legs and very limited flexibility, so that works for me. For others, it might be sitting on a seiza bench with your legs underneath you and your seat supported. Find that meditation position that's going to really help you commit to this consistent practice. That can be such a game changer for the body. But this ickiness of presence can really show up as pain in the body. It can show up as fear in the mind. I think it's Jack Kornfield who says, my mind is like a bad neighborhood. I try not to go down there alone. And it's true with a lot of my meditation clients. What I see is a lot of fear of, what do you mean I'm just going to sit there with my own thoughts? It's just going to be me and my thoughts? Like, that fear of what's going to arise is so overwhelming. And if that is you, dear one, I would just say to get the support of a meditation teacher and coach like me or someone else can be invaluable. You do not have to go down that bad neighborhood alone. You can receive beautiful witnessing on this journey, especially in the beginning, especially if there's been any trauma in your past, so that you can really develop the confidence to do this work on your own. And the more you do it, the more you see the mind is capable of generating just about anything you can imagine. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's our imagination. It's limitless. And we are not the mind. Our thoughts can be real but not true. So just because you have a thought does not mean you have to attach to it, take it on as gospel truth, identify with it, reorder your life accordingly. You can actually let that thought go. So if that's the ickiness you're experiencing, I encourage you to practice releasing of the thoughts. Maybe for you, it's a sense of restlessness. Maybe when you're sitting in your mindfulness meditation or your embodiment practice, your earthing practice, and it's that sitting still that creates like a vibration in the body and a desire to get moving, then I feel you. I have been there. I still go there a lot. And maybe you can incorporate some movement into your meditation practice, especially if it's a new practice for you, the practice of stillness. Maybe you want to practice a walking meditation. Maybe you want to try tapping or shaking the body, because there literally might be some energy that needs to be expelled in order for you to be able to sit comfortably for even 5-10 minutes in meditation. There are no rules here. Let yourself try and experiment and find what works for you. Maybe you feel sort of like a nausea and just like an ickiness. And that's really the best word I can use to describe what I was feeling earlier today. And sometimes even when we're not experiencing a shame spiral, or we're not particularly disgusted with ourselves. We have a pretty good handle on our relationship to ourselves. We love ourselves. We tell ourselves and we live like we love ourselves. You can still have this arise. No matter how long you've been practicing, it can continue to arise and it can be really difficult. Give yourself grace. Another opportunity to practice self-compassion. Another opportunity to make that U-turn. Because, as I've said, sitting in mindfulness practice, opening up that void space, it's really the only way to truly know ourselves and to make that self-love genuine through this beautiful act of self-knowledge. It's also the only way to meet our intuition and then to trust it, to trust ourselves. It's where all the good stuff is. So it is so worth it. Let me know, what does your mindfulness and embodiment practices look like? For me, I try to sit in silent meditation 20 minutes every day. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And at a time, I was attending weekly Sangha and sitting for longer periods of time. But I have yet to connect to a Sangha here in Lexington. So if you have any tips, let me know. Any local referrals to Sangha is really to bring in an earthing practice, as I talked about many times here, as well as a fascial release practice. And we're going to embody this together here in a moment. And it's a game changer. And these are actually some of the techniques that I teach in my program, Become Your Own Soulmate. This is my 12-week self-love coaching container with tons of content that you can revisit for life to help you grow in these practices and to be with yourself, to know yourself more fully so you can genuinely love yourself, trust yourself, and live the life of your wildest dreams, because you are worthy, beloved. You are worthy. And if you are ready, you can head to my website, ellengilbert.com/become your own soulmate. You can send me a message. I'm calling in 4 more soulmate clients this season. And if you're one of them, book your free call. I'd love to chat with you about some of this stuff. But some of the techniques that I teach in Become Your Own Soulmate include meditating on the body, which is a very specific form of meditation. And I incorporate body talking, which is talking to different body parts, listening so they can talk back. It sounds woo-woo because it is, but let yourself go there and see what's possible. We also practice tapping, chakra activation, breath work, movement practice, self-massage, which is some of that fascial release stuff, and body holds, which is like Jin Shin Jitsu, which is the grandmother practice of acupressure. And these all really help my clients and me be in our bodies so that we can practice genuine self-love, so that we can actually hold space for whatever arises. Whatever thoughts arise, whatever sensations arise, whatever fears arise, whatever dreams we might have, we can hold it because we are here. We are fully present. We are in our body. We are here for it. So let's practice now together some gentle tapping. We will start. If you've never tapped before, just follow along with me. You can make your hands kind of like bird beaks. I like to do this around my collarbone to start. And it's just a gentle pressure, and I like to alternate hands around the shoulders, the clavicle, just waking up the tissues here, saying hello, hello. The chest area holds a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension. And for me, tapping is just a way to acknowledge the body and say, I see you. I see all you do, all you hold and carry for me. Thank you. I am here. But make it gentle. Don't bruise yourself. And then there are some points we can do with just the pads of the fingers. So under the eye, side of the eye, the brow, under the nose, under the mouth. Very good. We'll just do those points again. Ideally, you would have your eyes closed, you'd be incorporating the breath and even some mantras that we would say with this. So I'll give you some examples as I continue tapping. Also find what feels good. You don't have to just tap in these traditional points. For example, we might say, even though I feel icky in my presence, I can trust that it is the gateway to more self-love than I ever dreamed possible. I know I'm doing the best I can. And I am proud of myself for learning new ways to cope with the natural difficulty of being human. Very good. Just noticing how that feels, anything resonated with you. Sometimes I just tap all along the eye socket bone. It feels really good. You can also tap the top of the head and under the armpits, which is a little awkward to hit there, but I do one at a time, more with the bird beak for me to really feel it waking up. So that's tapping. Don't you just feel more awake, more present, more alive? It's also a great way to incorporate touch and movement with mantra for people who struggle maybe to sit in silent meditation, or if you're really, like, I love to practice tapping when I'm really anxious and I can't sleep. It's just very methodical and it just sort of puts me in that parasympathetic state and it really works. I've also heard of tapping being really great for OCD symptoms and all the things that fall under that category. So give it a try. Let me know if you like it. It's also called EFT, and I really recommend the Tapping Solution, which is a free app you can download for some tapping meditations. All right, what else can we practice in 5 minutes? I also love self-massage, and it can be just very gentle after you're tapping, just a little squeeze up and down the arms, really targeting the fascia, however you say it, the connective tissue that actually holds and stores all of our memories and our emotions, our ancestral trauma. We gotta just show it some love. However you're feeling about your body today, really know that that's a projection that's a projection and a fear of how others are perceiving you, but it is not your experience of being in your body. Your experience of being in your body is being supported and held by this organism through which you have your life. So, really, back of the neck, squeezing the shoulders a little bit. Really, you can separate that from your experience of being in your body right now. And hopefully you can just say to your body as you do this gentle self massage, maybe now moving to the scalp, back of the neck. Thank you, body. I am so grateful for all you do for me. Incorporating the breath here. Recommitting to your body, maybe massaging the jaw and the face. Recommitting to listening to the body's cues. For trusting the body's knowing. And taking care of the body in whatever ways you can. Really relating to the body almost as a separate being that needs your love and witnessing and care, because it does. So now putting the hands on the heart. This is a little bit of an acupressure hold, just leaning into the embrace a little bit so that gravity can add a little pressure at the heart space. Closing the eyes, deep breath in through the nose. Constricting the back of the throat for Ujjayi, ocean breath. Good. Again, in. One more time. Let your breath be normal. Noticing if your body feels different now than it did when we started. Relating to any sensation in the body with curiosity. And with the confidence that you can hold it. Perhaps finding any points in the body that are neutral. For example, my right elbow is very neutral. Or even pleasurable. Anywhere you experience pleasure in the body right now, like a spaciousness. Can you titrate between the neutral place, the pleasurable place, and the place that is difficult to be in? Using the breath to send your awareness to each place. Spiraling in and spiraling out with what is uncomfortable. Dear one, you're going to experience it. But how do you want to experience it? If nothing else, can you connect to your intention to care? Or at least the part of you that cares about caring. For when we can access our higher self, just on the other side of that ickiness, there is nothing we can't hold Taking a deep breath here. Opening the eyes as you let it go. Welcome back, letting that heart hold go. Thank you, beautiful ones, for being with me today. I hope that this really helps as you continue to strengthen that presence muscle. You are worthy of what's on the other side of that ickiness and discomfort. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you. Again, you can make a donation at ellengilbert.com/donate. And do check out Become Your Own Soulmate. It's a 12-week one-on-one, deeply intimate container where we work through all of this and so much more. It's the best self-love program on the planet. I am so proud of it, and I would love to invite you into it. You can find out more at ellengilbert.com/become your own soulmate. I will see you not next week, but the following week for another self-love sermon. Next week, I have a friend in town, so I'm going to take a little bit of a hiatus. Sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.